The history of LSD is marked by a divergence between the medical sphere and the non-medical sphere, a gap largely accelerated by Timothy Leary. While the compound was synthesized in 1943, its research was derailed by the collapse of scientific rigor. Leary's transition from academic, being a Harvard professor, to what his peers referred to as an impure scientist destroyed the drug's legitimacy, a consequence cemented by his peers viewing him as the impure scientist that I think he was personally. The initial promise and the scientific failure of LSD was initially positioned as a therapeutic agent in the 1950s and early 1960s. While the early reports generated significant enthusiasm, such as the literature provided in the module being the use of LSD in psychotherapy, it stated that 100 of the 150 patients benefited by the treatment. However, the scientific foundation was consistently criticized. Internal warnings by a notable character, Sidney Cohan, around 1962, pointing out the lack of controls and the presence of research biases, trying to push LSD out from the early psychedelic studies. In addition, with the lack of rigor proved fatal to LSD's claims, the definitive controlled study, LSD in the treatment of alcoholism, published in 1969, found that LSD contributed to no significant difference in improvement compared to routine care, concluding that the data lends no support to the claims of efficacy. Things regarding the erosion of legitimacy and prohibition, the failure to replicate therapeutic success provided the scientific justification for prohibition, but Leary provided the cultural mandate. His rejection of scientific protocol causes peers to view him as the impure scientist, a central figure who had abandoned professional standards. Leary completed his shift from scientist to psychedelic celebrity during the period when he was operating the Millbrook Retreat. This transformation culminated in 1967 when he delivered the instructions to turn on, tune in, and drop out, firmly placing LSD in the non-medical sphere. This all contributed to cultural chaos, which included figures like Charles Manson gathering followers who habitually used the hallucinogens, allowed the political establishment to act. Consequently, in the 1970 placement of the drug in the Schedule I under the Controlled Substance Act. I think that's really it. I think the contemporary rise of LSD and other psychedelics is fundamentally an academic and medical campaign to reclaim scientific rigor and overturn the mess that Leary created with his legacy. But modern researchers do have quite the chore to do so. But I think the current goal to firmly reestablish LSD within the medical sphere by employing the controls needed to have ethical standards that Leary initially rejected in the early studies demonstrates the potential of a good pharmaceutical agent.